This man was charged with a terrible crime while the real killer was hiding in plain sight.
People were very, very quick to assume that Christopher Jeffries was guilty. This really was trial by media, and the outcome was decided very, very quickly. And this guy had his reputation absolutely ruined, literally overnight. People had decided that this was what a murderer looked like.
Young Joanna Yates' body was found by two people after 8 days of intense searching, with a total of 43 wounds and signs of strangulation. There were no clear suspects, but the case was so high profile in the media that the public wanted concrete and immediate answers.
I knew that I was innocent. Nobody else knew that I was innocent, but nevertheless I was required to go through these very protracted series of interviews during the course of 3 days.
In the shadows lurked the figure of Vincent Tabak, a Dutch citizen who was Joanna's neighbor in Bristol. He had been the ruthless killer, but his account didn't arouse any suspicion.
He was physically quite tall and imposing, but in manner comparatively gentle and fairly deferential.
However, one wrong move ended up condemning him.
Well, Vincent Tabak, after Christopher Jeffries was arrested, saw a narrative developing. He saw that Christopher Jeffries had been labelled as a murderer, and he literally could not help himself. He wanted to help this storyline along, so he called the police and he said, well, yeah, actually, I remember now that my landlord was out and about on the evening that Joanna Yates disappeared, and I saw that his car was parked the other way round the next morning, and wasn't that strange?
The account Tabak gave was very different from the one he had, so the police decided to collect a DNA sample from him, which would eventually prove that he was Joanna's killer.
Vincent Tabak's DNA was found on Joanna Yates' body, and traces of her blood were found in his car. So this is very, very compelling evidence. Now, Tabak's reaction to this, when he was arrested, was to basically construct himself as the victim.
Vincent Tabak had found in Joanna his obsession, and when their partners decided to go out around Christmas, he finally carried out his most macabre plan.
Most people, when they commit murder, are absolutely horrified by what they've done. They are not able to function normally whatsoever. But Vincent Tabak is just something altogether different.
Behind all that good-natured facade, the Dutchman hid a dark lie full of perversions.
A great interest in escort agencies, in pornographic websites, some of them involving the abduction, torture of women, and indeed some of the others involving the abuse of children.
Tabak gained Joanna's trust, broke into her flat, and upon realizing that her intentions weren't the same as his own, he decided to end her life. The macabre crime introduced a dark protagonist who will finally pay with his life in prison. However, until the last moment, he kept on trying to lie.
He claims that Joanna came on to him. She'd been leading him on. She'd been encouraging him. She'd been flirting with him. And that he'd gone to kind of follow up on that.